Hey again. Um, Today we finish up this section in Ephesians, reading verses 8 and 9 of chapter 2. Let me just read those for you. God saved you by his grace when you believed, and you can't take credit for this. It's a gift from God. Salvation is not a reward for the good things that we have done, so none of us can boast about it. Here, Paul talks about two things: God's grace, man's faith. Now, let me just talk a little bit about that. Uh, Part of the theological debate between Calvinism and Arminianism. Calvinism that says salvation is all from God. God chooses who is saved and who is not. Arminianism saying, no, God offers salvation freely to all men, but man must respond by grace. Part of the Calvinist uh, complaint or argument against Arminianism is that then makes salvation a work. Man's work is faith. Now, John Wesley, a great Arminian, uh, refuted that when he said, oh, no. According to Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8, even the faith we have is a gift from God. So it all comes from God. Now, Wesley talked about prevenient grace, and it's a theological minor point. I really don't want to get into it. The outworkings of it is God chooses us, we choose God, and somewhere in the middle salvation occurs. It's kind of like a marriage. You can't marry someone if one says I do and the other one says eh. Both have to say I do. Both have to want to be in that relationship. Both God and man choose each other. Now, is that a work of man? I don't think so. It's simply man saying, I see your grace, I see your love, and I respond to it. Now, Martin Luther, the great reformer, the man who started the entire Protestant movement, on a particular day in October, nailed 95 theses statements to the door of the Wittenberg church, in which he refuted problems that he saw in the Catholic Church practice of his day. He summarized his approach to salvation in what he called the five solas, using Latin. Said the first sola is sola scriptura, only scripture. Scripture is the only rule of our faith and theology. The second sola is sola gratia, only grace. God's grace is what starts everything. Everything depends on God's favor shown to man. The third sola, sola fide, only faith. Man responds to God's grace with faith. The fourth sola, solo Cristo, only Christ. Christ is the only mediator between God and man. And the final sola, soli Deo gloria. Only to God be the glory. God is the only one deserving of glory. So Martin Luther started it all back then. It wasn't so much that he invented these concepts as he recognized what the church had left unstated for centuries. God's grace, man's faith, brings us back into a right relationship with God. Are you in that relationship today? I pray that you are. If you aren't, ask God to forgive you. Ask God to put you in that right relationship. Give us a call, so that we can help you out. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, 10 a.m. or 5 p.m. God bless you. I'll see you on Sunday.